Wait, so when you're making your content, is it like, are you like me where I'm just like, when you have content in mind, like for your sponsors or who you want that to be in future?
No.
So it's just for the target audience?
So mine, my content is educative. I'm growing my personal brand to pour into our business. Okay? So my content is targeting our potential clients.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. For me, I feel like views na virality, it's not something that, even if it comes, it's not something I'm seeking sana. I could be having even followers wanaweza kuwa hata even 1,000 max, but as long as ni
if it's
potential,
converting,
if it's converting for me.
1,000 of the right target audience is better than like 10,000 of like people who are not gonna do anything.
Actually, in personal branding, that's what we say. We're not trying to get you to be known by everyone. It makes sense.
It doesn't
put money
make sense.
in your pocket. But if there are 100 people who follow you and your TA, that's all you need.
True.
Like there's a client of mine was telling me, Daisy, you may just need to reach out to 5 people on LinkedIn. That's 5 decision makers. So even when I'm crafting my content, I need to speak to these 5 people. That's it. I don't care if my content goes viral, if people like it or not.
True. Because numbers zime to trick. We are thinking that we need numbers.
Yeah.
For example, if 100 people like your content, that's a lot of people.
When you think about it,
in a room,
honestly,
in this room,
that's a lot of people. Even 50, that's a lot of people.
I think that's how social media lies to people.
Yeah.
Like we've been taught to underestimate the numbers, the numbers, the reach we have. And even I don't know who I was having this conversation with. Even marketing with social media is a scam, because the numbers that you'd pull, if someone goes to a media house to get the same numbers, they'd be getting so much more. But with content creators, tumedanganywa, for if you get like 2 million likes or 2 million views, you're paid such a small amount. So even the virality tunakimbiza, like if that's not bringing direct money into your pockets, it doesn't make sense. True. You'd rather have 2,000 people who convert and buy your product.
And now, let's actually start the conversation.
Nana Daisy
Actually, literally. Yes, don't kill you.
Let me tell you guys, welcome to yet another episode of Growing Out Loud with your favorite host, Daisy Keter. Drum rolls, please. Today, if you've noticed, tumeanza conversation before we even make any introductions. I have certified yappers on set today. Let me tell you guys, I think while we do the prep, we set up and stuff, they've already dropped so much gems. I'm like, guys, simuniache kidogo ya podcast. Hata jameni.
You've left some.
Please. So let me, today I have 2 of my friends that I met during the Creative Economy Practice Program here at iHub. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but the space that I use to record this podcast, I actually use it for free, guys. And I'm able to use it for free because of this organization and this community that I'm a part of, which is the Creative Economy Practice. And so a few months back, I applied to be part of their program, one of the programs that they were running, and I was fortunate enough to be selected, and that's why I got to meet these amazing ladies here that are already yapping. Okay. But first of all, if you're new here, this is a space where we talk to the dreamers, but not just the dreamers, but the dreamers who are actually executing and taking a step at a time to get to their goal. So the idea here is to have conversations with people who, by the time you're done listening to this episode or this podcast, you're like, oh my goodness, yes, I can do it, right? So I strive to bring people on here who have sort of led unconventional paths or are on a journey of their own and are building something or are doing something to also get themselves to that dream, so that we all just, for me, I don't know my words of affirmation, Kali. So it's pat on the back and you're like, oh, if she did that and that's the story and that's what he or she had to go through and they actually made it out on the other end, I can as well. And it's not always people who've made it out and are on the other end. As our title is, it's growing out loud. So we have conversations even about, what we're currently struggling with, right? What the journey is like, what the messiness is like. Because here we're not trying to show just perfection, because as we know, truly anything that you're trying to achieve, nothing is perfect. But now, what is that journey like? I'm interested in what the journey is like, because that's what we need to know, and that is what will help us get from one step to the next, right? So now, let me start on my, on the farthest left. Nivo, on the farthest left.
Yes, you're right.
Please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Testing the mic. Hi, everyone. My name is Ruth Mwikali. I am a co-founder at Tiar Creative Agency. At Tiar Creative Agency, we help businesses with branding, with marketing, and reach and growth, basically, in terms of marketing, brand growth, and sales, basically. Yeah, and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Daisy, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to learning and yapping and growing.
Okay. Yeah, and growing out loud.
Yeah, and growing out loud.
Okay. Just before I get to you, you've just said there's marketing and there's sales also. In our industry, by the way, even when you get clients, first of all, these two, they tend to think are synonymous.
Yeah.
Tend to think marketing and sales are synonymous. Please tell us how different marketing is from sales.
Okay, so marketing is reaching your right audience.
Is marketing is front end and sales is back end. So marketing is your job, and then they have to follow through on their back end to get the sales. Because I can drive consumers to you, but if maybe your landing page isn't working, a couple of things utapoteza watu. So that's how I understood it when they explained it.
Yeah, so basically, I think for us, we are more on the front end, but we hope to help you with the back end, because we say branding is okay, or if we are going to market for you, of course we are going to portray you or to put you kuweka face yako kukuwa the best kwa social media. You see, and so in order to achieve the sales or the results, or in order to convert the people we've brought to you, kwa ground back end also needs to be good.
Okay, so it also helps with their successes, right?
Yes.
If you also help them with the back end.
Yes.
Or sometimes they'll come and say the campaign didn't work because of you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so she, the certified yapper,
She's already started.
has already started, and she's yet to introduce herself. Please tell us who you are.
Hi, Daisy's followers channel. My name is Makena Wairimu. I am an advocate, legal educator, fashion designer, and basically just all-round entrepreneur. Anything that is interesting, that you can make money out of, that you can talk about, I am there. And I really, anything that empowers people, I am there for it, because I believe that sometimes we complain about things like the government not doing XYZ, and I believe private sector is there to do something about it. So anything to do with that, whether it's in legal, finance, I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's interesting that you are legal, yet a designer as well. So please tell us just a bit about this design. Yeah, being a designer.
Well, I think like the earliest I can remember when like Form 3 and those talent shows that you have, and I was like, yeah, I want to design. My friends let me down, so we ended up buying a dress from ECE. Yeah, but I have the sketches to date.
Yeah.
Then hapo high school ilikuwa naanguka very badly, but on purpose. Then I got to
On purpose?
It's just not putting in effort.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You relax, you get your B's, a few B's, a few C's, because I'm not dumb, so it's fine. Form 4 Africa, and I was like, actually, hey, I need options, so let me try, so that I can land somewhere in a good place. So then I nikajitahidi, I did a good job, and then I was like, okay, I actually want to go to law school. But it was between fashion school and law school. I even told my parents. And then they were like, okay, now you choose for yourself where you want to go. And then I ended up thinking, white collar is best. Yeah, that was actually what drove my decision. I was like, here, white collar is best, it's respected, more money. Yeah, got in, did the thing.
Yeah.
No receipts, nothing, the whole way through.
Yeah.
Got into it, and I'd say it was a bit disappointing. Yeah, the legal industry was a bit disappointing for me.
Okay.
Was a bit of a boys' club. Not a bit, it was a lot of a boys' club. And then I was also working in a law firm where I'd felt like my growth trajectory had plateaued.
Oh.
And it had been plateaued on purpose.
Already?
Yeah, it had been plateaued on purpose. So I'm someone who likes picking up something new every day. For me, I don't like my days to look the same. And I think the thing that I enjoyed with law the most is I could write a motion based on one section in the morning, defend it properly. In the evening, the same section I'm defending against. That was bringing out my creativity. It got to a point where I was just like, I've mastered that.
Yeah.
So what's the next challenge? Yeah. So then COVID came, 2020. We are stuck in the house. People are doing dances on TikTok. People are being creative.
And baking banana bread.
Yeah, baking banana bread.
And did you do the home workouts by Chloe Ting?
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
I also started my workout journey then. See? A lot of YouTube content. And then you see people start blowing up and you're like, the creative economy is a thing.
Yeah.
So then I started going back to like my roots of designing.
Yeah.
And then it was at that time, I quit somewhere around July, August.
You quit in the middle of a pandemic.
I quit in the middle of the
pandemic. Other guys are being fired. You're not quit.
Because you know what had happened?
Yeah.
My former boss and the office had a majority of women. During the pandemic, we were told to stay home for a month. The one guy in the office was going to the office every day. He was more senior than us, granted. But that 1 month, nilikula salary, nikasema hata sina stress. Wow, this is going great. Until the boss realized, akatuambia come back to work. Now that transition, after staying at home for 1 month, having control over my time, I was like, wow. Now when I went back to the office and not having much to do on purpose, just being on Instagram the whole day, I said, this is not for me. So then I did my exit plan. In 2 months, I'd gotten the money that I had said I wanted to save. And then Nika enjoyed Diani. I was
Wow.
In 2020.
Let me tell you. I was out every month. And that's where I found my love for fashion again. Because I drove past a fabric store. That was it. I just drove past a fabric. And I was like, oh my gosh, those are so pretty. I started thinking of designs. That was it. After that, I still had hopes of coming back.
Yeah.
Because I was still applying. I was like, no, this is just for now.
Yeah.
Eventually, it became more permanent. And I was like, my creativity is really good. Because I had prioritized intellect a lot. And I didn't realize like my soul was actually dying. And once I got to designing dresses, I was like, this is really nice.
Yeah.
So it went from being a hobby to, people actually like this. I can design more. Then it became business.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think now we are 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. We are about 4 years.
What's the name of your business again?
Nubia Couture.
Nubia Couture.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We are on Instagram.
Oh.
Check us out. Yes.
I love that. And the reason why we are sat here actually is because I'd like for us to have the conversation on just running businesses and what that's like. And in our fields, there's a lot of ambiguity and a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of things that you have to do to change, to ensure that you stay afloat and to adapt it's just a lot, right? Yeah. So for me, I love to say that I bring people on here because I'm here to expose I have problems. My guests will give me solutions because they're pretty good at these things, right?
Smart. Pretty smart.
Sometimes, yeah. I use other people to solve my problems. And I like how I'm just saying pretty good, and you're like, pretty good, really?
Really used.
Could you maybe just give us context into what running Tiar?
Tiar.
Oh, TIAR.
Tiar, yes.
Yeah, Tiar Creative Agency is like. First of all, I know you don't run it alone.
Yeah.
You have a co-founder. What is it like to work with a co-founder? And again, I'm saying this because a lot of the people I've sat with, a lot of the successful entrepreneurs always talk about having co-founders. And even when you apply for grants, there's always that question, do you have a co-founder? Are you doing everything alone, you know? So what is it like having a co-founder and working on the business together?
Okay, I think for us, especially with the work we are doing, first of all, we complement each other. Like we have different skills that together serve the business very well. So I'd say it is very interesting. It is nice. Sometimes your vision is not very good, so you are riding on your partner's vision. Or, like business is hard, and when you have someone there who you're like, who understands or who gets the vision with you, it's easier. It's a lot more easier, I would say. Yeah, basically.
Okay. And how did you come about starting this creative agency?
Okay, so 2020 as well.
Oh, wow.
Was that year?
Okay, my journey into business started in 2020, sort of.
Okay.
So I realized that employment is not working for me.
What were you doing before?
So nilikuwa nimeandikwa job mahali. I would say receptionist or something like that.
Okay.
But I was like, it is not working for me. So I quit. I also quit. And
in 2020?
In 2020.
Wow.
Yes.
You guys are bold.
Quit that job.
Yeah. Quit that
job.
And it doesn't matter whether it's 2020.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, even now.
Okay.
So I was like, so the idea I had in mind, I didn't have a plan. Okay. So I quit the job and I was like, let's see what we are going to do. So I approached a friend of mine and I was like, what are you doing with your life financially? Because I have an idea and I feel we can try something. So we started doing kuuza nguo online. And then I think by the end of 2020, we were struggling. And I was like, man, I don't think this is for me. And I didn't feel like we were aligned with my partner. So we stopped the business, basically. I went back to employment. I went into media. So I also started learning video editing. So I learned video editing for a while. And then I was still in employment. So I was doing video editing part-time. Okay? So, and then it reached a point I was like, now I am sure I did not want employment. You see? So now I left employment. Took some time to start the business, but eventually we started. Yeah. And that has been the journey. 2 years down the line, and we cannot complain. Or can we? 2 years down the line.
They usually say, though, that businesses, once you're past the 2-year mark, you can, because most businesses don't get past the 2-year mark. So once you get past the 2-year mark, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So that right there is a huge milestone. Okay. It sounds like she needs convincing.
I also believe so. But it has been a journey. 2 years is not easy. It has been a journey of figuring a lot of things out and learning and growing and basically.
Okay. Allow me to ask, now as a video editor, you're like, you are doing video editing, that was your area of expertise, and then now you decided to make it a whole creative agency.
Yeah.
What was that pulled you into now everything else?
Okay, so when we started, our idea was basically a studio. We were doing music production.
Oh, wow.
And then photography, because my co-founder had skills in that area. So we were like, we do audio production, and we also do photo shoots and videos and podcasts. And then, so as we didn't even do audio production. I don't think we even recorded anyone with regards to audio. But we were like, audio, we're not sure about it. But there's a gap. There's the creative economy. There's a gap in podcasts.
Yeah.
And so eventually we started creating content for businesses and brands. And we were like, actually, this is an idea that we can pursue. Yeah. Okay. So that's how we found ourselves in Tiar Creative Agency.
Oh, yeah. Nice. 2 years down, We are pushing on.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are really pushing.
Okay. Makena, back to you. What is it that you find the most, what frustrates you the most about your business, about design, about the fashion industry?
Lack of access, I guess, to resources.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think that happens in all
Industries?
in the entrepreneurship industry as a whole.
Yeah.
I don't think this country is set up for entrepreneurs. We're just taught to go to school, go get employed. That's how it's set up.
Yeah.
So especially as a young woman.
So resources in terms of
All
Capital.
resources. Networks, the financing, all of these things. Even just the support of,
you can
go get
this.
it. Yeah. So when you're young and as a woman, it's even harder. So that's been, I think that's, there are other things in the fashion industry, but generally that's been that's the thing that has really irked me the most.
Backed you.
Yeah.
And I think even for me, that was the same thing. I don't know if I had mentioned this to you, but I used to have a laundry and cleaning business
Yes, you
back
told
in
me.
Nakuru, back at home.
That was doing well.
Yes, it was. And I was using my mom's domestic washing machine to do clients' laundry. And then it got to a point where, again, it's a domestic machine. To mean it can only do so many rounds in a day. So when it came to time to scaling, you realize as I may have been 22, 23 at the time, you can't walk into a bank and they give you you have no security, you have nothing to back you to go and say, hey, I have this business. Yes, I have two small monies that have been accumulating, but they can't see nothing is tangible enough for them to give you a loan for you to now scale the business, right? And you see, again, as a 22-year-old, 23, my friend went out after kazi. And I remember being with my family. They're very supportive now, but at the time they were like, iyako. Maybe just go look for a job. Because I remember this is what my mom tricked me. She was like, fine, you just go look for a job. And then you see that job, you'll be able to take a loan against it. Because now with a salary, they can give you a loan, right? But as a business, kidogo tricky. So now with that, so the idea was to go get a job so that I can get a loan that my salary will facilitate, that will now come build into the business. But then again, in Kenya, utatoa wapi that salary job that you'll take a loan against.
It's also another issue.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel and we don't have a laundry and cleaning business now. It will be sadly back sometime in future, but that's just the situation on the ground.
True, it happens.
That's where like good dreams and good businesses go to
that. Literally.
True.
And even I think I was also reading somewhere that even the startups that are funded in the country, are all run by white people.
Exactly.
People who are not indigenous Kenyans. That's where the grants go to. So someone could be having the best idea, and just because you're an indigenous Kenyan, they're like, no. So your domestic system isn't funding.
Yeah.
Internationally, they are not. So now what do you do? You just go to work. You need to eat. They tell you go find work if there's work.
Like to even make a business stand, you have to sort of be crazy. Like to even chase
you
that
actually
dream,
have to.
You need to be crazy to believe that I'm going to start this. I'm going to pay the rent of the premises I'm going to use. If I have a team, you have to be crazy.
You have to be. Honestly, you have to be.
True, because I remember when we were starting, it was so uncertain. I'm telling you, my mom was like. My mom up to today she's not supportive. She's like, skumeni, but I can see it in her face. I can see it in her eyes that she's still not sure.
We're talking about it with Daisy earlier. How our parents still send us job opportunities, like, this opening has happened. But I have a job.
Like they don't understand. My mom still struggles to believe that we are running a business, and it's not easy, but she's like, any opportunity kikuja utaona tu. By the way, kuna nani, si umuulize.
That's exactly the situation.
And isn't so an entrepreneur, so you can support them, but you can't see
Exactly.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So I think there's also like that African narrative of you wefanya tu kazi. We don't innovate around here.
But I think pia it's from a point of, for them, they are protecting you. Maybe in some way. No,
It's not in a bad way.
It's not in a bad way. It's like, probably, like my parents have been kwa biashara, just small business, and they know what it takes. For them, of course, they're like, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll make it. And it's from a good
So they're trying
place.
to sort of get an easier sort of path for you.
Yeah.
So to what for them looks like an easier path, for me, for sure, I can tell you sounds like
hell.
Exactly. To use slavery. And I'm like,
not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me, right? So for you, what has been the most, 2 years in, especially in your first year, what was the most challenging thing for you in your first year in business?
Of course, funds. Like, some ideas, or even marketing your business, you need resources.
Yeah.
That's a big challenge.
Yeah.
Even resources in terms of human resources to get the best people and the best talents.
Yeah, because you don't even have money to pay them yet, and
You
you
don't.
expect them to see the vision that you're trying to build, and you're trying to tell them, okay, there's no money now, but guys, it's coming.
It's coming.
I promise.
It's coming.
And even you sometimes you go to sleep and you're like, is it coming?
Is it
Really?
really coming?
Even for me, I feel the same thing. I've said this before. I've only now recently started working with a team.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guy. At the end of every month, I just have pressure, and I'm like, oh my goodness, will I be able to pay them? Have you seen this? There's this post that has been going around. It usually goes around end month. Ati, when you've paid salaries, you've paid rent, you've paid utilities, and you have enough money to drink a soda.
Wow, that's
literally
a good
that's
man.
all that's left.
A good man.
To drink soda. Yeah. So allow me to ask you, Makena, how has running a business changed you as a person?
When I meet, I tell running a business, for me, I've come to learn is spiritual, because you do so much self-development. It's like a reflection of you.
It is.
Yeah,
True.
you basically have to do an audit of yourself and be like, oh, I'm poor at XYZ. Now I need that to work. If it's communication, because my business depends on that.
Yep.
And if you're good at this, you start seeing, oh, even ways that you did not know.
Yeah.
So I found that you and your business it's like a mirror reflection.
True.
And the more you get into it, the more you just realize it teaches you so much about yourself in ways that employment could never, education could never. I find that such an interesting thing about biashara.
Okay. And I think just to add on to it, it sort of fastens your own personal growth.
Yeah, it does.
Completely.
It forces you to grow up in no time.
Yeah.
Even your personal growth is so much different from
what it would have been.
Yeah.
True.
I agree.
Like, you really have to grow. Some things you go through and they force you to become. Like, you have to become.
You have to.
I read somewhere that your business grows to the extent at which you grow.
You grow yourself.
Exactly.
So it really, like, it's venye umesema, it's a mirror reflection of you, basically.
Okay.
And then even your priorities change.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Because now there's no security. You're the one who's providing for yourself the
There's no
security.
security.
There's no one to lean on for, what do we do? You're the one who's giving out the instructions.
Yeah.
So all of that, I think, changes your chemistry. So I think also with your peer group, you find out that probably then you've matured a bit faster than everyone who's in your same age group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have maybe questions. We can. How has being in a business impacted your relationships in terms of friendships, and how has education impacted your journey in any way? I'm curious to know that.
Friendships. For me, the friendships part is, I realized that because most of the people I hang around, most of my community are people who are employed. So there's just things I can never get, to be honest. I think it's almost like motherhood. If you have like a mother in your group and you guys you can't
cannot,
get the experiences, you just can't understand.
Yeah.
So they'll be, oh, we're going out, we're doing this, and you're like, your money is going directly to any pen you get in end up.
Yeah.
And education, I'm going to say a very unpopular opinion. But I think for me, with the education, it put me in a very bad spot. Because I think education kind of boxed me in a bit. So then with entrepreneurship, you need to be a bit more bold, you need to be a bit more creative. And if you've gone from the education system where things are done a certain way, to break out of that, by the time I was learning that, it cost me, they were very costly mistakes.
True.
So I think there are people, that's why there's a book called Why See Students Employ A Students.
Yeah.
Because you get so locked in the system of, remember, I've been told to do this, following instructions. And C students are just like...
Yeah, and even the fact that in school, especially 844, this is to repeat 844.
Yeah.
It's so big about failure and like if you fail KCP and you're a failure.
Yeah.
You're a failure.
Complete failure.
But in business, like you're always failing, but you have to get up. You have to redefine. You have to learn and to get up as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Allow me to just add on to what you've said. Recently, I was reading a post from the founder of Nalamani. He was talking about how us as entrepreneurs, it was in that context, but I think it applies to everyone as well. You should literally every day wake up and put yourself in situations where you fail, so that like apply for things just for the sake of failure, for example, just so that you exercise that muscle that allows you to be able to pick up from that one failure and move to the next, because what will set you apart is how fast you're able to stand up and keep going.
True.
So if you are used to failing so much, Paka, it does not even put you down anymore. You see, now you just go for those opportunities, right?
True.
And now to answer your question on how it has changed my friendships, for me, I think now I have come to appreciate that you should not expect that all your friends fill your cup in all ways, like in all aspects. Let me give context. You see, when you were younger, for example, you're my friend, right? I can come talk to you about my boyfriend, for example, and I can come talk to you about my family. I can come talk to you about job. I can come talk to you about, that is how it was. And you'd think that a friend is someone you can run to for anything and everything. But now the older I get, the more I realize it's okay to have friends who fill your cup in different ways, right? Sure. So there are friends who now, even for me, I don't have, at least in my closest circles, I have maybe one or two people who are in the entrepreneurship space, right? So with them, I'm able to have conversations about how I'm struggling with my business and stuff. But I also have friends that I may not be able to have conversations around entrepreneurship, but I have conversations around life and just around, just different aspects, different things, right? Yeah. And that's okay, right? It's actually unfair for you to think that this friend is supposed to be there for you for everything, because they don't get it. Like you said, if you're a mom and I'm not a mom, there's no way understand what you're going through, right? So it only makes sense for me to also get a mom who I can speak to with regards to motherhood. Yeah, and this person that you can speak to with regards to motherhood, you may not be able to speak to them with regards to entrepreneurship too, because say if they're a stay-at-home mom and they all, how would they understand what it is that you do, right? So for me, I've learned to now just sort of, it's not put my friends in pockets, but sort of just understand and not expect everything from one person, because that is unfair, right? But with regard to education, I don't know. You see, for me, I took my technical expertise and built a business around it. So for me, it plays a big role, and I keep sharpening my skill set with that regard. So for me, they go hand in hand. Nice. Pretty good, nice, pretty well. Yeah. Business owners are not meant to be content creators. Like your work is literally to deliver and like do your core business. For example, if you're in HR, your core business is recruitment and organizational structures and ensuring that people are paid and that stuff, right? So if you run a HR firm, that's your core business. That's a content creation, because apparently now everything is moving digitally, right? Yeah. So everyone is on TikTok now, right? But sasa, especially for us as small business owners, Sasa, you're the one doing everything. You remember how you're saying you're the creative designer? You design, you go, you get clients, you go, you source the material. At some point, you're the one actually making the dress and everything. So you're supposed to do all that and still create content.
You're the model.
Because you're the model.
That has happened.
You're supposed to do all that and yet still create content for your business. How is that taking you guys?
For me, it's hard. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're coming from, like, let's say with the law content, you're coming from a technical expertise kind of place. It's a bit hard to like switch gears. I'm front facing. I was talking now when you end up finding a TikTok and I'm going to do a reel. It's also confusing for the brain, but I think it's just like, what are we doing? To consider so much to the checker, but I think it makes your brain more elastic. I think it makes you more
adaptable.
More adaptable than other people would. And also, where we are going with the digital economy globally is, can you sell stuff? That's just it. So I think as a business owner, you also like strengthen that muscle of learning what your audience needs directly. So by the time you're able to employ someone to do it, you'd be able to tell them, this is what I want, because you've done it yourself.
True.
Which I find like an added benefit.
Yeah. And for you, Ruth, especially now that you run a creative agency, what advice would you have for that business owner who technically hana capacity to get an agency like yours to create content for them and figure that out? What advice would you have for them with regard to putting themselves out there?
I mean, we are living in the social media age. Like, you have to say it's a must. It's a must. It's a requirement that you be on social media, right? And I'd say right now we have phones. You don't need an agency if you cannot afford it.
Yeah.
We have phones. You can be documenting your daily life, or just, you don't need to start uko. Just start small.
Yeah.
However you can.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're doing something on social media. Because right now, if you're interested in a brand or if you're interested in a product, you'll go to their socials, right?
That's true.
And if they're not very active, you'll second guess. Yeah. True. So it's very important. Like, we have to find a way of being on social media. Yeah.
Okay. And now that we've been in class the past 1 month, and we are having this conversation of, we need to, I think was it Phil who told us this, that we need to actually be on all social media platforms at this point and churn out content on all these platforms, right? For me, I would say, for example, LinkedIn is my strongest, right?
Yeah.
So I built my brand on LinkedIn, and there's all these other platforms. The others were just for vibes. Literally, if you'd see my IG was just for me living life. My TikTok was there where I'd just repost the most random of stuff, and up until I realized, so I actually need to build my brand on these other platforms, and it is driving me crazy.
You're not the only one.
It is driving me crazy, because I'm like, oh my goodness, so I should have posted a story on Instagram about what we are doing right now, right? And at the same time, ensure that I have something on my WhatsApp status, because I looked the other day and I think I have about 800 contacts on my phone. So those are 800 people. And you see, if you already saved them, they have some sort of interest in you somewhat.
Yeah.
So they are sort of a ripe market, I would say. So you're supposed to have something up on your WhatsApp. At the same time, you should have something short for TikTok, right? And at the same time, ensure your LinkedIn is still
YouTube.
And have long content for
Oh
YouTube.
my God.
And now with YouTube, we have YouTube, the long format, and then
And
we
the
have
shorts.
YouTube shorts. And that short, they should do well. And then you find that short does. And then now there's Facebook again. I used to think Facebook is for the oldies.
Yes, I
Now,
did.
apparently,
apparently
Facebook
it's
is
like the
paying
most
better
vibrant
than... Exactly.
place.
Did you guys know Facebook pays better than YouTube, as
Than
it turns
Instagram.
out? And yeah. So... how are we taking in this information? First, from a point of as a business owner, more than even a creator. How is this landing for you?
For me, I feel like it's just like more demands on my time. Like, I already feel like stretched thin. Already.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, Sasa, I've acted for the reel. Now I have to post it here.
You've danced for TikTok.
I've danced for TikTok. Now I have to turn the camera like this for you. like simnunue tu jamani. Like well, for me it feels like more demand on my time, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I understand that our audiences hang out in different spots.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but I find it a bit overwhelming, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
And then for you, because if you're a full-time content creator, I'd understand. But you're also running a business on the side.
Literally.
And you also have to do life. Like, you're not a robot. Lazima sijui you do your 10,000 steps. You find your skincare. Sijui you call your parents. Kunywe maji. Utumie toner. Uongee na boyfriend. Like, please. You haven't seen your girlfriends in a month. I find that overwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah.
And to some extent, I also find it a bit of like overconsumption. If I'm going to be honest.
Okay. For your audience, Ama?
Just in general, I feel like we went from like one social media site to like 50 of them. I'd understand like LinkedIn is professional. Then I'd understand if you do one of the less serious ones, what I consider TikTok, where you do like the vibey ones, and Twitter. But then now that you have to do like the whole spectrum of them, I'm just like, wow. It's going to take me a minute to catch up. I don't know what you think.
I'll be honest.
For me, I'm okay. Mimi niko kwa hiyo biashara. We are helping businesses do that on social media. So for us, it's an opportunity. And I think that's the way to go. Because if you want to reach people, because I'll go to YouTube if I want long content, right? And if you're not on YouTube and if you're in the niche that I'm consuming, then you'll miss out on me, right?
True.
On TikTok as well. So it's an opportunity. It's also challenging, and I think we should really adapt to it. Like find ways of adapting to it. It's not easy, even for me as I'm saying this. It's not easy. Like on LinkedIn, I'm struggling.
Yeah,
I'm really struggling.
I got you. So we do this. You teach me how to show up on the other platforms and to set up systems that allow me to show up consistently. Like Nikisha post up, I mean everywhere, please.
Like, yeah.
And then I'll teach you how to navigate LinkedIn.
Yes,
it's actually not, but just because I know I hear this a lot. If you're struggling, to build your brand on LinkedIn, first of all, don't overthink it. And I know we usually go with this perception of, oh my goodness, it's such a serious place. Everyone there is very serious and stuck up. That's what usually comes. But let me tell you something interesting. The first person that I met in person who told me they know me from LinkedIn. Do you know where I met this person? At a popular lounge in Westlands. Yeah. Like I was outside with my girls. And then someone just was like, hi, as you were leaving. You're Daisy Katel, right? I follow you. And they pulled up my LinkedIn profile. And then that day I went home and I'm like, I used to think LinkedIn is like an office. Like by the time you're leaving that space, you umetoka umeenda. But when you think about it, this person who's on Instagram is also on LinkedIn, right? So stop thinking of people there as they're people at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so the idea is to connect with them on that level. And how do you connect with people? By sharing your story. I was recording a previous episode and my guest, Wangoe, was telling me she's a web designer, right? But even when she puts up content on IG, she's also figuring out LinkedIn. She noticed people are more interested in because she took a sabbatical in her story more than they are interested in the website that she makes, right? And in the same way, we were actually talking with her and she's like, once you connect with people, it becomes less about what you can do and what your portfolio is like. It's more about you. So now, for example, they know that you're a designer, right? And if you make custom pieces, for example, they'll be offering nini. And then now the time that they need that custom piece, now they'll just call and they're like, Kai, ulisema unakuanga designer by the way, sindo? Si ni mundi address. I have this event coming up and it's just that.
That's actually I've gotten most of my clients.
Exactly. They come to you for you first.
Yeah, you first,
Yeah, before they even buy into your business. So when you show up on LinkedIn, you show up with that notion as well. You show up knowing that you're first talking to people. Yes, there are numbers, but like we were saying earlier, when you think about 50 people even, 50 people can't fit into this room.
They can't,
right? So those 50 people, you speak to them like actual people,
Yeah,
right? And how do you connect with them through your story? And the interesting thing is, yes, wins do well. Oh, I got a new job. You'll see a lot of congratulation messages.
Yeah.
But I also realized when I share my struggles, people connect even more. Because you see, with wins, okay, fine, yeah, a win is fine, but I cannot relate that much with you because it's just a job I don't know. But when I come and talk about, and it's yours, it's yours. But with your struggles, like just earlier, we were talking about how you are in a certain period in your business. When you talk about that and you're vulnerable like that, you'd be surprised at the number of business owners who would be on your comment section as well, and they're like, oh my goodness, same. And they're more often than not willing to give you tips, and they're like, okay, so I don't know, but I just breathe. I just take deep breaths every so often. Those are the kinds of content that resonate with people on LinkedIn. Yeah, so when you go on there, just imagine, just share your story and just be open and vulnerable. That's what I would say.
I think it works with the other platforms as well.
It's the same.
Yeah, just the same.
Yeah.
I think we overthink LinkedIn.
I think something you see that had never clicked to me.
Yeah.
The same audience that's on Instagram
Yeah,
and TikTok.
true.
The same people.
I don't know why
The same if you have a coworker or your staff, when they leave the office, kuna mali wanaenda, that's a social place. They're the same people.
Yeah, and also to make it easier, repurposing the content. Like that content you want to post Leo, just repurposing it for LinkedIn. For Instagram.
I have a question on that. I know there are apps or there are services that you use where you just put the video out once and it goes on different platforms. Is that repurposing?
No,
that's not repurposing.
Yeah, that's not repurposing.
Repurposing means like you're changing the tone.
Yes.
So that needs actual work. You have to sit down and like, this is for TikTok. So the reel is the same, whatever. The structure is the same.
It's the same, but now maybe it could be even the caption.
That's the difference.
Yeah, that can be the difference, basically. Like, who was giving us an example? The way they post on, like, the caption they put on TikTok is very different.
Was it
because of the audience
or something?
I can't remember. But it can be even the caption. Yeah, it can be. And maybe you've posted a picture or a carousel on Instagram. Yeah, now you can put it on what is it called? LinkedIn.
Yeah,
one image.
Yes, as one image, and maybe
no. Actually, even you see the carousel. See, they're usually like 5 pages on IG. You just download it as a PDF, and when you upload it, you download it as a PDF. If you're like making it, convert it into a PDF, literally with the pages, and then upload it on LinkedIn as a PDF. So now on LinkedIn, that's how you're able to scroll like this.
Or when you upload it as a PDF.
When you upload it as a PDF, you're able to scroll through. Yeah, I can show you like the one I did on sustainable, what we were taught by Rachel.
I saw it,
yeah. You just upload it as a PDF and then you're able to scroll past it like this.
That is
literally.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I guess repurposing can just be small things.
Yeah.
And I think if you have a system going, like if you have specific content and you know, for my carousel post, this is what I'll be doing for, it gets easier. Because then it will be easier to be like, I'm doing this. You're following a step.
Yeah.
As opposed to just sitting there and be like,
True.
It seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, you better start somewhere. Like last week I had put in my to-do list, create content for LinkedIn. And now, weekly content for LinkedIn. And I was sitting there and I'm like, no, not today.
Now that's how I am with now creating. I mean, like telling my story on Instagram and like stories. I'm like, because every time I'm like, okay, I guess I need to build my brand on Instagram and TikTok as well. And so every day I have to show up on my stories and build my brand. But every day I'm just like,
why? What's the issue? Why don't you want to?
It just feels like
your brand.
See. For my personal brand.
Oh, your personal brand, yeah.
You see, on LinkedIn, I think it's sort of easy because it's text. You have a text post over there, then you put an image, or you can even just customize the image a bit, and then it goes up. On Instagram, now you see it's more visual. Right?
It's more visual, yeah.
So, first of all, I'm like, okay, I'll do it by the end of the day because I'm not able to do it on the go. I think, or I should work on doing it on the go, first of all.
That works for stories.
On the go.
Yeah, they're not looking for perfection there.
Yeah.
I think I overthink the whole thing, guys. I'm overthinking it quite a bit, right?
On posts, they're looking for that. But on stories, they're looking for connectivity.
Yeah.
So just post it on the go. okay, on my to-do list, I guess.
Again,
I will finally get it done.
Hey, mine is TikTok.
Okay.
I just feel like those streets are so rough.
TikTok.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like my Instagram and my TikTok audience are very different. Although, granted, I've just put 2 videos up.
Yeah.
But granted.
Makena.
But the comments there, I'm just like, guy, I'm going back to Instagram. People who are civilized there. So I feel like I'm still learning.
I don't have the same experience with
Same.
TikTok.
Guys are so chill over there. Oh, but it's true. They also say they don't care. They don't put much thought into what they comment.
Yeah. I was just like, I think I got the roughest part of it when I started.
Yeah.
And I also picked a fight.
Oh,
so
you picked a fight.
I picked a small fight. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I get that. So mine is TikTok because I feel like also, I don't know. I feel like, I'm a young millennial, but I feel like there's also like it took me a while to get on TikTok. I think I only got on it like 2 weeks ago. I just felt like there was
real?
yeah. I felt like it's like there's
It's for
an
some
age
people.
barrier.
Yeah.
I felt like there's an age, which is so wild because I'm a zillennial,
Yeah.
which is so wild. But I've always thought, that's not for me.
Let me tell you something that I noticed. Most, especially business owners, and you see these guys, or guys who like sit, for example, at shops or in town, and they're waiting for clients to come. These days, people there, they'd scroll past on Facebook like this. You'll notice guys are on TikTok. A lot of guys.
Sure.
And I don't know who was saying this recently, but you'll discover there's different. You know how they say there's different sides of TikTok? Have you found, like me, I've found myself on Kalenjin TikTok recently, and I'm like, guys, there's a whole other world of
Yeah, it's true.
So you'll realize there's TikTok is so vast and there's everyone there. You'd be surprised, including your target audience. Even me, there's someone who came to me and to ask me for my personal branding services on TikTok. I was surprised. I was shooked.
It happens.
Yeah, because there's also a creator in our class who I guess also has like a pretty big following. And they also said that TikTok, they used it to grow a following, but then even brands don't take TikTok seriously, so the monetization isn't as good. So what they do is they transfer they try and transfer the followers and get them to like follow them on IG. So on Instagram, apparently then brands take you more seriously, then you're able to monetize better.
Is that so?
His who's been in the business for long, so I was just like, oh, that's interesting.
I think it depends on how you've branded yourself. Like you said, there's different worlds in TikTok, depending on what you feed and what's your feed. No, I don't think it depends on what you create, basically.
I think I'd like
they
to
also create like
because our
it was
my content
necessary because he creates like the same content across his channel. So that's what you're telling me, that it's easier to then pull them, do a call to action, follow me on Instagram, and then you get better monetization on that side.
Or when it's about monetization,
that's
it
what you were
makes sense.
saying. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, monetization is true. But in terms of, like, us, we've gotten some clients from TikTok. Okay. Someone is like, I saw your video on TikTok, and that's why. Like, so, but if it's monetization, it makes sense.
Difference.
And even as a consumer, let me think, as a consumer, I've seen some influencers, like there's this young babe that I follow. I think her name is Lisa Gitau on TikTok, right?
I know Lisa Gitau.
You know Lisa? So she just creates content for the young girl in campus. She graduated recently and is now, just figuring out her life. And I saw she got a partnership with Uber Boda on TikTok. So now she's influencing for Uber Boda, electric Boda on TikTok. And I remember looking at it and I'm like, this makes perfect sense, because her audiences are people who would now appreciate Uber Boda because of the price and the convenience and all that. So I think it all also goes back to what your audience is like and what the client is looking out for. I think so. I think so. And maybe this creator maybe could it be that they have their audiences are sort of older-ish, so that it makes sense that their audiences are on, because the perception, like you've said, is TikTok has, that's just the perception. It's actually not true. Especially my mom is on TikTok. I saw her Josie, I'm like,
my mom had to delete that. It's for everyone, but I don't know, at some point the perception becomes...
But maybe
it's
it's perception.
I
think it's perception. Yeah, because also I noticed I think the easiest platform to grow on. Because let me tell you, like for my podcast, guys, follow me on TikTok, on Growing Out Loud, and it's on all social media platforms, including LinkedIn. But I noticed with like 200, I think we had, last I checked, 288 followers on TikTok. To follow. To follow. Support.
Follow. How are you listening and not following?
But with those 288, some of my videos even get 8K views, 15K views. Yeah.
I think also what he added was, I think brands have the perception that people on Instagram have higher buying power.
Oh,
that's what it was about.
Yes, exactly. It goes back to audiences.
Yeah,
I
so
get
if
it.
you're going for more luxury brands or mid, then they would be looking for you on Instagram or maybe LinkedIn or X and not TikTok. Because I think the demographic on TikTok, they're like, maybe you guys can't hamwezi fika. That's what the brands are saying.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I see. So it's all perception, truly.
Yeah.
So on that, Ruth, is there a way to attract the same type of brands across all your channels?
I think so. See, you're making the same content. You're creating the same content. Yeah, I think it's like Lisa Gitau. You said she's influencing on TikTok, but also on Instagram as well. Because I also saw
her content,
that Ubaboda content on her Instagram. So it's possible. It's possible. Yeah.
You see me, I don't follow her on IG. I follow her on TikTok.
She's never popped up?
Yeah.
Or you don't even look for her there?
No, I just know how to find her on TikTok, I guess.
Me, I saw her Ubaboda partnership on Instagram. Yeah, so it's very possible.
You guys are speaking to her. It's good to put your content out everywhere.
Yeah.
And remember, the other thing that we've been learning in class is when building sustainable careers, is you also, even when you're approaching brands, you also look at what value add can you have for them, right? So, for example, yes, your primary platform is TikTok, right? But you can now just throw in your other platforms as value add.
Yeah, true.
It comes off as you're better positioned to get the deal that way.
Yeah, especially an influencer. True. Value add is important. So you need to figure out all the platforms.
You just need to do it.
You need to do it.
Plus
you need to find a way.
They mentioned that if one goes down and that's was your primary platform, you're going to have to start building again.
Yeah.
So you might as well just do the dirty work now.
True.
Yeah. Okay. And guys, allow me to ask, being in business, for you, 4 years?
Yes.
For you, 2 years?
Yeah.
For me, I think mine is about a year and some change, 8 months, thereabout. Oh, so it's pretty close.
It's close.
It's pretty close. What's a win that you've had that you're like, and it affirmed that, okay, I know this thing in an Itesa, but that thing that you saw and you're like, so we're actually onto something and we are building, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before I get to that, I know there's a tendency, especially when like entrepreneurs go on platforms, to be like, we've raked in 8 million, we're doing this, we're projecting to do. We've been conditioned to just talk about like the big wins.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I think that was even misleading for me as someone who was on the opposite side before I became an entrepreneur, because you think, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to make money and it's going to be easy. I would like us to also have like candid discussions. So even when you're talking about wins, even a small win, we gained one new client today, we got a referral, that's a win. Because we end up like creating this false narrative that wins must be big. And then the people also coming in think it's going to be fast and it's going to be easy.
Yeah, true.
So having said that, one win is that I am now getting out of a contract with a distributor that wasn't working for me. And I've been so scared to like jump out of that. People wouldn't consider that a win, but I do. People wouldn't consider that a win, but I've left the security of what they were offering to try and work with a distributor who's doing more global shipping. So we'll see how that goes. And that's one of the wins that wouldn't be described as a win. One that would be, I got to work with a luxury alcoholic beverage brand, which was funny because they were in my plans for something else. And then it ended up coming through the fashion side. And And that really affirmed to me that my brand is luxury. Because it was specifically chosen for the designs, for the materials, for how they look. And I was like, great. Because that's what I consider them like top shelf when it comes to alcoholic beverages. But I'll also say all that glitters isn't gold. I'd also say be prepared for the winds to also come with something. Like a lesson here and there. So the event, I wish it was done a bit better, but I did get to work with them. And that was really affirming for me, especially trying to position as a luxury brand.
Yeah. I love that. And before we get to you, Ruth, allow me to just ask, how do you go about for someone who wants to partner and collaborate, especially with business, which is something that we've also been learning in class, which is just collaborate as much as you can. How do you even approach, for example, like a luxury brand and have them agree to, partner with you?
Oh, now this one, I tried approaching them myself.
Yeah.
I did know of people who knew, but the problem is they didn't have they didn't have an office here in Kenya. So it was very hard to get a hold of them. At some point, I knew their brand ambassador actually. We met randomly, a friend of a friend, and we drank together. Then 1 year later, I got the courage to call. And I was like, so I sent, but ikaka hapo. Then this brand deal came through my fashion distributor. That's how that came in. But I'd say this is why networking is important. Because if you know someone who knows someone, then it's easy to get like a way in.
Yep.
Yeah, so even some of the partners I wanted to work with, maybe an employee there. Could just be something as simple as that. Yeah, maybe you met someone who, if you don't have to go directly. And I've noticed that more doors are open when someone else is saying, yeah, I know her. So build your networks, and you never know who you're meeting. So be very careful. Even if someone has rubbed you the wrong way, as long as it's not violent, you can leave it with grace, because you don't know where you'll find them.
Exactly. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
What about you, Ruth?
For me, my biggest win is to survive every day in business. That's a win. Surviving every single day, that's a big win. Also, we were in a point where we were like, the clientele we were serving was not the right for us. They did not appreciate the value we were giving. Yeah. Sort of, they did not need it in a way. So getting to ourselves to a point where we fire them, that's a win. That's a win. And surviving that's a win. That's the phase we are in right now. So that's, for me, that's a win, a big win.
Yeah. I love how vulnerable that was, because even for me, I think a big win was also, first of all, getting people who appreciate the value that I have to offer. Because you see, again, with personal branding, sometimes and someone asked me this question, so how do you measure results and what's with personal branding? Because you see, first of all, it's very different for different people, because it's usually based on your story, your skill set, your expertise, and all that. So sometimes finding people who understand what you have to offer is different. So the fact that I was able to let that go and let people who were not in alignment go, it allows you to make room to now work and dedicate your time to people who actually appreciate and see the value. And sometimes it's not even it's their fault. At least they are wrong and you're right. Sometimes, like you said, maybe they just don't need it at that point.
True.
They need something. Actually, you see, for me, a lot of people come to me thinking that what I'm doing is marketing.
Oh, okay.
Right? So they're here expecting me to build their brand, to market their businesses. And I'm like, guys, no. That's not what we are doing here. Yeah, so sometimes I think another big win is getting people who appreciate what I do and give me this time and space and patience as well to be able to get it done.
Because
there's
it
a
needs
lot of
patience.
It needs patience, and there's a lot of figuring out both on my end and on their end as well. Because again, it's someone's personal brand. Everyone's is different. You know, their stories are different, how their personalities are different, how they approach things are different, the results they want are different. So for me, it requires a lot of patience, and I'd love to say I think I've been fortunate enough that a lot of my clients extend grace maybe that from that perspective.
That's a win.
Yes, it is. So just as parting shots, guys, what's that one thing that you would tell Makena, the Makena that was starting out 4 years ago?
Wow. Let me tell you, it feels like so many lifetimes ago. I feel like I've lived so many lives. Exactly. Oof. I'd tell her I am very proud of us for taking the leap.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure. I was like, everyone is telling you go this other way. And I am very proud of us for listening, for trusting, and for continuing to be very present. And not necessarily that their path becomes clearer, but I think you become more patient as you wait for a light to shine its way, which is something I didn't know. I was always waiting. You know, you're in uncharted territory.
Yeah.
But you're waiting for a blueprint.
Yeah.
And you're maybe the first in your family, the first in your community to do something different. And old me was just like, okay, I'm waiting for someone to show me how to do it. And now I'm just like, no, well, that's are doing it. The person behind me is benefiting. And now I'm at peace with that. Yeah, so I'm going to tell her, like, you stop trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Become comfortable with the path making itself.
Yeah. I love that. What about you, Ruth?
I'd tell her, trust the process. Believe in yourself. And everything ends up working out in the end.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay. For me, I just tell that girl, first of all, I'm proud of you. Like, I am because you are, you know, and you chose to make that leap. You didn't even know what was coming. And up to now, we still don't know what's coming ahead, truly. But the fact that you made that leap, and you know, there's something that they say, you get confidence in yourself by repeated actions. Yeah. So if you take one small leap, tomorrow you're able to take the next one because you're telling yourself, I did it last time. It was uncharted territories, but
you build evidence, you know, for yourself.
So even this time, it's just one leap, and then we're good. You know, we'll be good. We don't know where we're going, but because we did it last time and it worked, we can do it again, right? So just keep at it. Yeah, and I guess I love you, all Daisy, younger me. Okay, so thank you guys for being such an amazing sport and for taking the time to come here. I'm so glad that the program brought us together, truly.
Yeah. I'm also very glad. True.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to even the collaborations that we'll have in future. And just please tell us where our audiences will find you. Yeah.
LinkedIn, I'm struggling, but I'm there. Makena Wairimu. On my TikTok and Instagram, it's WA_Akili. And for my fashion brand, it's NUBIA_COUTURE KE. Yes.
Okay. What about you?
Neza tuma salamu pia.
Shout out.
Please, by all means.
I'm joking.
Walia, hi.
So for me, it's Ruth, the visual artist, on Instagram and TikTok. And then on LinkedIn, Ruth Mwikali.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure. Thank you for staying up until the end of this conversation. Please let us know what you picked. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section as well. Feel free to follow us on Growing Out Loud on all social media spaces. And follow me as well. My name is Daisy Keter on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on TikTok. And up until next time, bye.